Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of GTV. I'm Don Valiant, and this is the news from Gyeonggi Province this week. This year, Gyeonggi Province plans to invest 82.4 billion Korean won in small business support programs that cover a range of business phases, from startup to restart. The province also plans to establish a special agency that will oversee the implementation of these programs. This non-irritant organic soap company was on the verge of closure just prior to participating in an overseas trade show supported by Gyeonggi Province. After 3 years of struggling since its establishment, the future of this company has now become positive through exports.
잘 만들면 잘 팔리겠지라고 생각했는데 마케팅이 굉장히 중요하다는 걸 또 알았고 그 판매를 어떤 방향으로 나가야 되는 것도 알려줬고.
The subjects of the support include small businesses such as backstreet shops and traditional market merchants who are experiencing difficulties. Support programs include education for successful startup and guidance for sustainable business operation, as well as support for business closure and restart. One notable program, the first of its kind in Korea, is the establishment of 200 small business communities for mutual cooperation and information sharing.
공동체마다 마케팅, 환경 개선, 경영 교육, 현장 체험을 지원합니다. 임대료 인상 자재 자율 협약을 연계하여 임대료 부담을 줄이도록 노력하겠습니다.
The objective of Gyeonggi Province's small business promotion policy is to regenerate local commerce through the implementation of recurring programs as well as the designation of commercial promotion zones. The new agency, tentatively titled Gyeonggi Market Commerce Promotion Institute, will undertake the systematic management of the designated zones. Detailed information can be found on related Gyeonggi Province websites. During the Second World War, a large number of Korean women were conscripted forcefully under the Women Labor Service Order imposed by Japan. To recognize the hardships endured by these women, Gyeonggi Province plans to conduct a detailed survey to identify all surviving women who served as laborers. In 1944, at 14 years of age, Kim was recruited and sent to an airplane manufacturing plant in Nagoya, Japan. She had to work with little food and no salary.
손가락 탁 잘렸을 때 피를 줄줄 흘리고 손가락이 삐뚤삐뚤 10원 뛰는 것을 봤는데 일본 남자가 그놈을 딱 죽고 오장에 국는 일을 오고 있을 때 얼마나 분합니까?
The purpose of this survey is to identify those, such as Kim, who were forced to work as women laborers by Japan under the Women Labor Service Order. Although Gyeonggi Province has been providing known victims of Japanese exploitation with living cost support, there is a need for detailed data about the victims of this historic tragedy.
위안부로 오해를 많이 하기 때문에 피해자분들께서 자기가 동원된 사실을 감추거나 숨기고 싶어하는 게 많이 있기 때문에
Gyeonggi Province will designate surveyors to record the details of the lives and services performed by such victims. The results of the survey will be used as history education material and for related policy development.
할머니들의 좀 더 마음의 짐을 내려놓을 수 있고 국민들이 같이 아파하고 일본의 진정한 사죄가 이루어지는 계기로
4 years ago, the number of known surviving victims of the Labor Service Order was 33. The number has since fallen to 22. Gyeonggi Province announced its plan to hold an International Basic Income Expo featuring an international conference, an exhibition, and a variety of experiential programs designed to promote the basic income concept pursued by the Gyeonggi Provincial Administration. This two-day expo, the 2019 Korea Basic Income Expo, will start on April 29th at the Suwon Convention Center. The primary objective of this expo is to propagate the basic income concept nationwide.
기본소득의 아젠다를 전국으로 확산하여 국내외 기본소득 정책의 현재와 미래를 진단하고 세계적인 이슈 및 새로운 정책을 발굴하는 소통과 교류의 장이 될 것으로 기대합니다.
During the expo, the basic income principle will be promoted through a variety of events. The international conference, which will be held under the theme of Basic Income, a New Paradigm for a Cooperation Age, will see presentations and discussions on basic income among Korean and overseas senior officials. Basic income will also be the theme of the exhibition. This exhibition will showcase various basic income policies being developed by Gyeonggi Province and other autonomous bodies. In addition, a separate hall will be set up to enable visitors to purchase regional vouchers instead of admission tickets and experience use of the vouchers.
행사는 그리고 저희들이 컨퍼런스가 주가 되겠습니다. 복지 차원을 넘어서 저희가 경제적인 소득 재분배 효과까지 하는 그런 저희 경기도에서 마련하는 기본 소득 모델로 봐주시면 되겠습니다.
Gyeonggi Province seeks to draw more than 20,000 domestic and international specialists, including officials from Korean autonomous bodies and provincial residents, to this expo. Yongin City of Gyeonggi Province was selected by the Korean government as the location for the National Semiconductor Industry Cluster Development Project. This semiconductor industry complex will be the largest of its kind in the world, occupying a 4.5 million square meter site in Yongin City. Costing a massive 120 trillion Korean won to develop, this complex will house 4 large semiconductor plants of SK hynix and more than 50 related enterprises, as well as semiconductor technology education facilities. This complex is expected to have significant positive effects on the local economy and job creation.
하이닉스 입점으로 인해서 용인의 동서 불균형을 해소할 수 있는 아마 원인점이 되지 않을까 저희들은 그렇게 생각을 하고 있고 그리고 그로 인해서 많은 사람이 또 일자리를 찾을 수 있고.
Since last year, Gyeonggi Province has recommended the development of a semiconductor industry cluster by the central government. The Korean government adopted the idea and announced the project, which will cost a total of 120 trillion Korean won over a span of 10 years through to 2028. Location selection was also influenced by SK hynix, the key player in the project, which preferred Yongin City for its new production facilities. Development is expected to commence in 2022 after National Assembly approval and subsequent administrative procedures.
2025년부터는 차세대 반도체와 관련된 연구 및 생산 활동이 이제 그곳에서 이제 실질적으로 이제 일어날 것으로 기대하고 경기도가 이제 최선을 다해서 그 사업 기간을 단축할 수 있도록 노력을 할 것입니다.
In addition to semiconductor industry cluster development in Yongin City, Gyeonggi Province is also pursuing mutually beneficial development in neighboring cities, as well as multifaceted efforts to enable residents to benefit from the development. On February 26th, Gyeonggi Province, Yangju City, and the Gyeonggi Urban Innovation Corporation signed a cooperation agreement for the development of the Yangju Techno Valley in northern Gyeonggi Province. Costing more than 130 billion Korean won, the Yangju Techno Valley will be developed on a 300,000 square meter site in Yangju City and will house textile, fashion, electrical, and electronic enterprises, as well as new fabric and design industries.
양주 테크노밸리는 상대적으로 낙후된 경기 북부 지역에 지역 경제 활성화와 일자리 창출의 원동력이 될 것으로 기대를 모으고 있습니다.
According to this agreement, which specifies the scope of responsibilities and costs for each party, Gyeonggi Province will assume the role of overall project administrator, pursue necessary approvals and administrative procedures, and operate the project executive committee.
테크노밸리가 조성이 되면 일자리도 많이 늘어나고 지역 경제도 많이 살아나고 도시 자족 기능이 강화돼서 진정한 의미의 자치도시가 되지 않을까 생각이 됩니다.
Yangju City will bear 37% of the project costs, process local approvals and administrative procedures, and undertake infrastructure construction.
양주시가 경기 북부 지역의 중심 지역으로 자족 기능 부족을 극복하고 자치도시로 거듭날 수 있도록 양주 테크노밸리의 성공적 추진을 위해서 열심히 노력하도록 하겠습니다.
The Gyeonggi Urban Innovation Corporation, which will bear 63% of the project costs, will undertake actual design and construction.
판교 테크놀보다 더 좋은 그런 4차 산업혁명의 어떤 전진기지 또 통일을 대비한 북부 발전의 견인차 역할을 할 수 있도록 혼신의 힘을 다하겠습니다.
After investment review by the central government and project approval by the Gyeonggi Provincial Assembly, development work will commence in 2022, with industry occupation beginning in 2024. With the number of public complaints and disputes about office tels, buildings with combined residential and commercial units, having increased fourfold over the past 2 years, Gyeonggi Province designated and began operating a support team to help resolve such conflicts. Last year, Gyeonggi Province received 447 officetel-related public complaints and 41 mediation applications for disputes between officetel tenants and management, 4 times as many as only 2 years ago. Most cases involved management fees and building defects. On February 27th, Gyeonggi Province announced intervention in such conflicts to help with their resolution.
사적인 자치를 관리토록 하고 있어서 행정기관의 관여가 최소화하고 있지만 불공정한 행위를 예방하기 위하여 장기적으로는 학술 연구 용역을 통해서 공공의 역할을 확대할 수 있도록.
On behalf of tenants, the support team will perform inspections of accounting records as well as buildings on an application basis. Gyeonggi Province also plans to increase the number of free legal consultation services for tenants to 4 times per month and to adjust policies to include officetels as subjects of management inspections. New residential officetels with more than 500 units will also be subject to building quality inspections. Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of GTV. We look forward to seeing you again next week.